let's cap off on this. So our friends at Altcoin Daily, and I will say, of all of the mainstream crypto influencers with big channels, Altcoin Daily have been the ones that have seemed to, we talked about this last week. I think like they're more legit guys if you do catch them, you know, publicly. You know, a lot of these people have handlers. They're not allowed to talk about certain things. They, you know, they have mentioned Hex, PulseChain a little bit before, but interestingly enough, they just put out a video the other day. They had a segment calling what is going to be the next Cardano, the next ADA, and they actually chose PulseChain of all things. Now, I don't know what they mean by next ADA. Do they mean like, you know, a lagging performer in the bull market? I'm not sure what they mean by that, but I guess they probably mean like predominant L1 that people flock to, maybe. But yeah, they did talk about Pulse. They actually brought up Gold Key's tweet where he had like 8 different bullet points about like all these great statistics about Pulse chain adoption and everything so far. Altcoin Daily speculated that it could do well on their channel. I just said use a Gold Key thing. But then, and this is the weird part to me, and this is the thing we're going to get to, and I think it's going to be a sticking point that we do see throughout the bull market with some of these influencers. But they pumped up PulseChain, but then they said specifically, unlike Hex, it doesn't come with baggage. It doesn't come with the baggage that Hex does. What does that mean? That's just what I don't understand. Like, I know they were obviously referencing Richard Hart and talked about him for a moment, but they're both products by Richard Hart. Why does PulseChain not come with the baggage of Hex? I just don't understand. Is it just because it is a layer 1 and you understand what that concept is? I don't know. I think that they just think, I think they see 38% APY with Hex and they see that like, oh, you make this great return or whatever. And they just think that that is not possible, but they do understand how an L1 works. So, hey,
that's all
okay. So I am glad they talked about it on their channel, and I think they are going to continue to do it here and there and not so much Hex. But what do you think? I mean, like in terms of them and other influencers as we get into the bull market, is that going to be the main thing? And maybe I should look at it as a positive too, because PulseChain is an L1, PulseX is a DEX. Is it more likely that people will talk about those that are more mainstream as opposed to Hex, which they have just always dubbed a scam, you know, 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. I think here's what's happening. I saw this comment earlier and I was like, yes, that's exactly what's going on. These guys are filling up their bags slowly. Once they get the amount of tokens that they want, they will start talking about it, because you're right. It is a layer 1. People understand it. People have such a hard time with Hex because, you know, there is a lot of game theory built in. There's a lot of different rules, I guess. Not really rules, but, you know, when you think about it, it's simple. It's a contract with yourself. You know, all you got to do is honor what you say you're going to do, and you make more. You know, that's pretty much all it is. You know, but there's a lot of preconceived notions that you have to stake it and you have to do this or whatever. You know, Richard has a large amount. Well, he's got a large amount of PulseChain too. You know, the OA has just as much. So, you know, when they refer to baggage, I don't know what they're talking about other than the meme that they did with Richard carrying all the Louis Vuitton bags right beside it, and they were referring to baggage.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. But again, I really think that these guys, and it only takes 1 or 2 of these influencers to start talking about it. The other ones, they will start to fill their bags up too, and then they will talk about it as well. And, you know, eventually they'll dump it as just like everybody else does when they do that. But again, they will pump their bags first, or excuse me, they'll fill their bags up before they start talking about it. And I think Altcoin Daily has definitely done that. I don't remember if they were one of the sacrificers that Richard knew who it was. You know, we all know the Moon Carl. He sacrificed what was that guy's name? I forget what his name was.
We think Ben Armstrong did,
Sonny Decree. Sonny Decree was another one. So we all know he sacrificed. Ben Armstrong definitely. So we know a lot of these guys did. You know, and it's just a matter of now that the price is down, are they going to buy more? And I think they will. Once they get it filled up, look out. They're going to talk about it. It's just another one of the things, especially when, like we said, when the ETH prices get out of control, it's going to be somewhere to point these guys to, hey, over here, guys, I have some. Why not talk about it? And that's the way you're going to see a lot of these guys, handling it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to buy what they need to now, and then they'll really start promoting it later on. But it does make sense to me. I mean, yeah, everybody's familiar with what L1s are. Their fans are going to know what L1s are. We look at all the failed ones from last cycle that aren't coming back, like Phantom. I know people are all over Solana right now, but I don't think it's going to be the top L1 to perform. So yeah, we know, people know what that is, and I think that they will perpetuate that and try to pump their own bag. So yeah, I'm totally cool with altcoin. I'm in no way, and I don't think Johnny meant this, but in no way was I like saying that I don't want Altcoin Daily talking about it. I mean, that's totally fine, and I think that they are open to that stuff. It's just funny that people do still have that disparity in their opinions between what PulseChain is and like what Hex is. So
well, just remember, the big saying is watch what people do, not what they say.
Definitely.
And that'll get you your answer.
100%. Yeah, that's what we need to be actually watching. So